Big shout out to the winners today. One winner, Charles Leclerc. Congratulations, finally getting that first place podium that he's definitely been not robbed. You know, that happened to Lewis Hamilton, but it's escaped him a couple of times due to Ferrari's own, unreliable issues. They failed Charles several times, and Carlos definitely took things into his own hand and claimed his own win last time, and I'm not going to fault him for that. So big shout out to the newest VIP member, Nah Automane, definitely support of the channel. This is something I do to give back to you as viewers. When you support the channel, if you've been here for our lives, the super chats, the stickers, even if you're watching a regular video, you can click the super like button and it will allow you to do a super like, chat, super sticker kind of sort of. And those points get added up for you to win or get awarded your VIP box. So merch comes in here. One of the special gold Wolfpack coins comes in there, along with some other things. There is a tier 2. It is being developed, and I am actually having a custom-made titanium coin for the VIP tier 2 collection. Also, we pop bottles here on the channel, which members get to vote on. This is real champagne. We pop it when they make podiums, and that's what we got going. So we celebrating. Today was a good race, but other things took place. We saw Sebastian Vettel once again end up in the pebbles. Aston Martin as a team is not doing so good in my opinion. Lawrence Stroll definitely needs to get this team on track. I don't know if Aston Martin's going to want to attach their name to too many of these L's that they are taking. And sometimes shameful exhibitions is what I would call them. But let's go into what happened with Sebastian. There's a lot of news out here. Sebastian getting fined 25,000 euros. I'm here to say that indeed is not completely accurate, in my opinion. Others may say different. In my opinion, it's not completely accurate. So let's take a look at some things. Now, today we got the leaderboard up. We had that once again. Shout out to Leclerc. Shout out to Max. Shout out to Lewis Hamilton. A lot of people doubting Mercedes. Mercedes actually making a little bit of progress. But to me, the dark horse, the team making the most progress thus far, Haas. I'm very surprised and actually very pleased to see them coming up. I want to see more teams in the mix. And let's get to what we were going to talk about. So today what we're talking about is Sebastian Vettel and his fine for 25,000 euros due to him being penalized for walking out of a driver's meeting. Why is he being penalized? First of all, is what we're going to look at, which is something we're coming to do here on this channel, trying to learn together about more than just the blanket racing. Like, let's learn a bit more of the inner workings of why things happen. What are these funny numbers and articles and statutes and regulations that they're putting out there? This helps you get a clear picture of what actually is going on and what is actually probably being said. Some of these things can be misleading. So as I said, Sebastian Vettel being fined 25,000 euros in a way, which we'll get into explaining, like, why is it not a fine, Wolfpack, but it is a fine. And I'm going to tell you, because if you look at the way they have it written out, let's see the document. It has down here. I'll point it out right ahead of time before we get to it. But if you see down here, it will say 25,000 euros right here at the top when it says decision. The decision says fine of 25,000 euros, tax suspended. Well, what is a suspended? Some people are thinking like 25,000 euros and you're suspended, or what is going on there? So let's just go into this. Not everybody is thinking this, because some people actually know exactly what it's talking about. And if I am wrong, somebody out there that knows better than me, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to learn more about Formula One and what I learned to share with you all and what you learn to share with me, so we become a better community all together. That is what I'm looking for. That is the aim of this channel, right? I'm not this special expert doing all this. I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. So we'll look at here at the reasons. The driver, Sebastian Vettel, left the drivers' meeting that was held at 19:30. For some of you that don't know, like I know, military time, that is 7:30 p.m. 19:30. If it was 7 a.m., it would just be 7:30. On Friday, the 8th of July, without permission and expressing frustration at the meeting, okay? This is not like when Senna left a driver's meeting, although Senna may have went through something then. I'm not sure if they had these exact things in place, but probably. But Senna was very upset with what was going on, and I can't blame him for that. Drivers are not free to leave when they want, that being a breach of the requirement to attend. Drivers at this level are role models, okay? And that is true. Lewis Hamilton has spoke to that several times. Like, sometimes even when he's most frustrated, the things he does are because those who are coming behind him need to have a certain standard to uphold in order to improve and grow the sport. For every driver around the world and in a 10, drivers, I'll go back, and in option of stewards, Vettel failed to live up to the standard in this case. So we'll go through all this because, it says a lot of stuff, but you can read it if you want while it's up here. But I'm going to go back down to the next highlighted area, which is important because we're going to get into the regulations and articles here. Therefore, the stewards order a fine of 25,000 euros. That's a pretty steep fine for walking out of a meeting. I think I've seen other situations in Formula One where I would think, we don't see the drivers' meeting as viewers, right? We only heard about it because you all talked about it. Not to say that it's not important to talk about it, but 25,000 for walking out of a meeting. But I guess if you're saying we don't want drivers just to be thinking they can just walk out anytime, yeah, that's a good way to, set it. I ain't trying to lose 25 stacks just because I walk out of a meeting like that. So it goes on, which is suspended for the remainder of the 2022 season. So he's been issued a fine, ordered a fine, because it says order a fine. So they ordered it, but Sebastian hasn't really picked up the fine. The fine has been suspended. Why? Subject to any breach. Okay, so this is where we get into the why in the stipulations of the suspension of the 25,000 euro fine. To any breach of Article 20.1 of the Formula One sporting regulations. So if we go to 20.1 of the regulations, let's check that out. 20.1. Okay, now this is in two different languages. If you look at the sporting regulation, it says at each event where a sprint session is scheduled, meetings chaired by the race director will take place 3 hours before the start of P1, practice 1, 1 hour, the end of practice 1, and 1.5 hours after the end of the qualifying practice session. The first must be attended by all team managers, and the second and third by all drivers and team managers. Okay, so here it lists out the meetings, whenever they're going to take place, how long each meeting is suggested to be, and who should be in attendance for each meeting, given each meeting separated out. Okay, so right there, 20.1, Sebastian is supposed to be there for the second and the third meeting along with the managers. Okay, so that's 20.1. So if we go back to the document now, it goes on further to say, and or of Article 12.2.1. Foxtrot of the International Sporting Code. So now we're moving over to the ISC. These are all different sources or documents, regulations that Formula One must adhere by. Drivers, teams, managers, organization as a whole. So there are different ones. Okay, so you won't find this in the sporting regulation. Okay, you're going to have to go over to the International Sporting Code, which we will do that right now. So we'll go over here, 12.2.1. Foxtrot F. Any words, deeds, or writings that have caused moral injury or loss to the FIA, its bodies, its members, or its executive officers, and more generally on the interests of motorsport and on the values defended by the FIA. Okay, so basically in a nutshell, don't do anything to make us look bad. Don't do anything that we don't want you to do. Don't do anything that makes us feel like you're disrespecting us, the FIA, the big dog Formula One brand. That's basically what that's saying. So with the document coming to say 25,000 euro, which is suspended for the remainder of the 2022 season, subject to any breach. So now going forward, right now, Sebastian Vettel has not picked up the tab for the 25,000 euro fine. Okay, he hasn't. It's been ordered, but it hasn't been assessed to him to pay. If so long as the rest of this season, Vettel does not break any one of these codes or these articles or breach any one of these articles. Okay, if he breaches 20.1 or 12.2.1 Foxtrot going forward this season, they will indeed enforce the 25,000 euro fine. Now, this is the big question. This is the bigger question. This right now hangs in the balance, okay? 25,000 euro hang in the balance from this situation right here. If he breaks this or breaches this article or code going forward, that will be two separate situations. So then will the FIA not only bring this 25,000 euro into play along with the additional fine of the second infraction? That is what I would question. So this could easily become a $50,000 euro penalty in whole, with the initial suspension of the fine holding in the balance if Vettel breaks it again, and then the new assessment of a new fine when he does actually break it. So it could easily go to 25 to 50,000 euro, depending on what they want to do. So I don't know if they're going to be like, hey, we got 25 euro in the balance. If you break it, we'll just bring that down, and then that will cover both infractions. Or no, you have $25,000 euro tab. Now that you have broken it again under observation, another additional fine will be added to the 25,000 that you now will have to pay. It could get expensive for Vettel if he wants to walk out of another meeting or break those codes. So that's what's going on right now. So technically, Vettel has not been fined. A fee or fine has been ordered that Vettel has not paid, and he will not have to pay if he does not breach code going in this season. It will not carry over to 2023, as they did not outline that in the document. So that's what's going on. Vettel, I understand. And I think this, to me, is saying what I've said before. I don't know if Vettel's going to be around next season, and maybe at max 2024. I don't think so. I think Vettel is personally tired. I don't think Aston Martin is bringing any fire to his competitiveness, if he had any left. And I think Vettel, the four-time champion back-to-back, may I add, like, that is pretty impeccable. Done more at Red Bull than right now I think any other driver may have. I mean, you let me know if I'm wrong, but I think Vettel is the most winningest driver in the Red Bull brand thus far. Max could potentially be, but he has not reached that. Max has won, Vettel won 4 back-to-back. That's a quadruple nice achievement. So shout out to Seb. Seb might not be around much longer. I think Lewis will probably be around longer than Seb will. And I think Aston Martin is shortening Seb's wanting to be in this sport longer than he probably planned to. So you let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Feel free to suggest any other type of topic you'd like us to try to go over and learn together, because that's what we're doing. Big shout out to you all. Big shout out for the Grand Prix. We'll have a break, then we go into another race, and then we have the summer break, I believe, after that, which a lot of teams have time to cover up the bullshit from the floors. So peace out. Thanks for tuning in and watching another video here at Wolfpack Performance. Check out some of my other content on Formula One issues, our topics, and our DIY products on how to customize your vehicle. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.